Yo, what's up guys? So today I got a tutorial lined up. So today I'll be teaching you both the pressure fan, which looks like that, and under pressure, which is kind of a derivative of the pressure fan. So under pressure looks like that. Yeah, and since they're both kind of based off the same move and sort of the same concept, I decided to include both of them into the same tutorial. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Grab yourselves a deck of cards and let's get right into it. Alright, so with the under pressure and the pressure fan, the main concept behind it is you're grabbing the cards like this, you're bending them, then you're releasing off your index and your middle finger to create that sort of movement of the cards. So I'll start by teaching you the pressure fan, then we'll move on, kind of vary it to do under pressure. So first with the pressure fan, you want to grip the deck similarly to how you'd grip a thumb fan. Now again, this is one of those things that differs from person to person, but you'll just have to experiment, figure out what works. But the basic idea behind it is you're grabbing the deck like this, and you're creating a pressure point between your thumb and either one or two fingers on the other side of the deck, and that's going to be the point of rotation. So if I put the pressure there, when I do this, it rotates around that point, and that's where you hold the cards. So for me, what works for me is I grip the deck kind of like this, so it's between my index and my middle finger, and then these fingers just, do whatever, just stay out of the way. And then with your right hand, you're going to grab it very, very close to what you do for a swing cut. So hold it with your middle finger almost on the corner, your index finger there, your thumb on the bottom right hand corner, and bend the deck inward this way. Now it should come pretty naturally. Just as you start releasing cards, they should just start springing backwards a bit. Now it'll take a little bit of time to actually build up the muscles in your hand to be able to do this comfortably. Yeah, also use a slightly broken in deck of cards just so it's a bit easier to bend. So take it like this, right? And you're going to apply pressure to get a good bend in the deck, just like that. And then you're going to slowly let the cards shoot out one by one, and they're going to move this way. Now with the pressure fan, you're going to move your right hand about the same speed that the cards are going back, so that the cards themselves don't really move. Your right hand moves and then it creates the fan. So in slow motion, you're holding it with your left hand, your right hand starts releasing cards, and your right hand just keeps turning until you end off here, then you let go. Then to close it, you can try a one-handed closer, or you can close it like you do a thumb fan. So again, like that, and then you can close it this way, or you could one-handed close. And that's the basics behind the pressure fan. Now when you're doing this movement and having the cards spring back, at first what's likely to happen is for this sort of thing to happen, where the cards just go up and don't seem to go backwards. Like here you see the cards are going backwards, but if I just do this, the cards will seem to go up this way, which is normal. Yeah, so when you're doing this, instead of just pulling down like this, that makes it easy for the cards to go up, to fall out, etc. So what you want to do is you want to take the corner here and you want to bend it inward. So you're pressing this corner in. So from an over the shoulder sort of view, what that looks like is you're taking it and you're bending this corner right here using your middle finger, and you're pressing it in. So this way the deck is bent, instead of just being bent like this in the middle, the corner is being kind of pushed in, so the cards are sort of forced in this direction, meaning they can't shoot straight up. They have to go this way. So again, you take it, you pressure it and you kind of bend. I don't know if you can see that from the top, but you kind of bend the deck that way. So normally you do this to get a spring, but here instead of doing this, you're bending it inward like that. So there's a bit of bend in the deck this way, so that the cards spring backwards. So again, you grab it, you bend it this way, and then you let your middle finger kind of slip off the edge a little bit. And as your middle finger slips off the edge, the cards that slips off will shoot backwards. You will want to play around a little bit with the amount of pressure and how much you release, just to get the cards to, you know, come out evenly like that. Because at first, the pressure will feel a bit awkward, and then cards will kind of come out in clumps. Very similarly, actually, to what happens when you first learn the spring. Cards, you know, it'll feel kind of hard. Actually, my left hand, it'll feel kind of hard, and then cards will come out like that in clumps. So the same thing will happen with under pressure and the pressure fan. Actually, I wonder if I could try it with the other hand. It feels so weird. Bend it, push it forward, and it'll probably look something like that. Okay, yeah, but generally bend it forward, then the card should start shooting back, just like that. And then practice that a bit, get to where it feels comfortable, and then you'll have your pressure fan. Now for under pressure is pretty much just a variant of that, where instead of moving your hand forward, you're just letting the cards shoot backwards. So you do the exact same thing and go to I'd say about 90 degrees, a bit less for me, but about 90 degrees. So I'll flip around this way. So this packet here that you're holding, it's about 90 degrees from the packet here of all the cards that are going back. So you go up to there, and then you just stop, and then you just keep releasing cards off your middle finger and your index finger, and they should just slide smoothly back into the deck. Yeah, depending on your deck of cards, this, you know, the amount of pressure that you need to exert with your right hand will vary. And if the finish isn't very good on the cards, there'll also be a lot of back pressure when happening. Fun story, one time I tried to do this with a deck of tally hos that was powdered, and the powder wasn't very good. So in other words, the cards were very stiff and there was a lot of resistance on the cards. And I tried to do this in like the middle of speech class, and long story short, there was this moment of silence and the cards literally like exploded out of my hands and went just all over. Yeah, it was a little embarrassing to say the least. So now I've learned use cards with a bit better finish, and yeah, and just practice more. So with more practice, the movement becomes a lot easier to where it looks and feels effortless. One other concern that I've heard and that I had at first is whether or not this actually damaged the cardstock itself, but it really doesn't. Actually, what it does is it breaks in your deck of cards so that it makes them a lot easier to handle, a lot nicer to use overall. Because once you're done, there'll be a little bit of a crimp, but all you have to do is bend the deck backwards like that, and it gets rid of that bend entirely. I mean, a good deck of cards, the cardstock, you could practically bend it double, and when you let go, you can just bend it back, and there won't be any permanent damage or crimp or anything. Alright, so that is the tutorial for the pressure fan. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully soon I'll be able to do some more advanced cardistry tutorials. I've started out teaching more basics just so that when I get onto these moves, if they're prerequisites or stuff, I can reference previous videos, and also I just want to make sure I'm fully proficient at what I'm teaching, so that I don't teach a method that's incorrect or not the best method. I want to make sure that I'm fully proficient at the move before I teach it. Anyway, so that's that. There'll be more tutorials coming out hopefully. So that's it for today. Again, I hope you guys found that helpful, and stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!